Hello, hello, this thing on, hello. Okay, so how's it going, everyone? So this will be a simple chatting, or I don't know, just a simple briefing, I guess, because we got a lot of news this week, but it's a simple news, so I don't think it's worth making a video out of it, because technically we got the VegasGP news this week, and all the info you can just read on the website, so I don't think that that's any worth making a video out of it, since I post a lot on Twitter and stuff. But I still want to talk about it, hence this stream, I guess. So I think we shouldn't do any dilly-dally. Oh, by the way, I won't be going, unfortunately, because I don't live in the US and trips are expensive, and technically I don't have a viable deck other than starter decks that I bought. So there's that. But I look forward to everyone's post pictures, make vlogs of it, because it's the first GP for English, so it's a big thing. It's a very big thing, and thankfully, I believe the JP selectors also caught interest of it. I've seen a couple of JP people actually interested in going to the VegasGP, but I don't know. I mean, it's 100 plus seats. We will be seeing that later on. But maybe because one of them actually posted that since a Conflicted Diva, the latest set that will be releasing on July as well, will be on the 14th. And since the GP is on the 22nd, technically you can use the conflicted cards, but technically you cannot wait for it to be delivered to you, so you actually have to go to the you have to buy in store, and you actually have to make it quite fast and early, because release on 14th and the GP is on 22nd, so not much time for you to, I don't know, settle in with the new cards. But technically we actually have the conflicted cards early, since we are technically around a year behind JP, so you can look forward for the cards by the translations. So it's actually not that bad of a thing. The problem is just more on procuring the cards rather than understanding them. Right, so since I noticed that everyone really liked the previous video, like the summary I did for the 9th anniversary stream, so I made a little something close to that, so just to summarize whatever we got for this week. Right, so we're gonna jump on here. Right, okay, so we'll be talking about the WIXOSS Diva Grand Prix, the first WIXOSS Diva Grand Prix for the English set, or technically global set, because we only have, well, technically not global, because we got the announcement that WIXOSS will be getting a CN version soon. I can't remember when, but there was a post about it. Right, so the Diva Grand Prix is on the 22nd of July this year on Alexis Park Resort. Wait, let me just hide myself a little bit. Right, okay, so it's on the July 22nd at the Alexis Park Resort. It's Vegas. Yes, it's Vegas, baby. Right, so it will be on July 22nd. These are screenshots taken from the organizers website that I posted in on the description of this stream. You can click there and you can see from there. You can click there and go there. There are basically all the links are there. You can register there and you can see how many is left, how many open spots are there. I'm pretty sure it's almost over because I checked on it earlier today. There was like less than 20. I think it's on like 17 or something. Right, so the event starts on 10 a.m. EST and registration will be up on May 26th. That's 3 days ago, I guess. I mean, people have been like swarming to register on this, and thankfully, I mean, we can from the registration alone, you can see that WIXOSS is actually going good, even though like we don't have that many publicity or not many publicity outside of JP. And basically the game is actually going really well since 128 players is the cap. And yeah, like I said, I checked on them earlier today. It's less than 20. It means it's very, very good. So the event format is, of course, a legal deck following all the WIXOSS rules. We still don't have the no color restrictions yet here in English, so we still can only use only the three colors of our lyrics, which are the center and the 2 assist. The event will be best of 1 Swiss format, 40 minutes per round, and with no overtime. And at the end of the match, the current phase is not the attack phase, it's a double loss. And if the current phase is the attack phase, you have to finish the attack phase. And if there is no clear winner, basically you cannot beat your opponent, it's a double loss also. So the Swiss rounds will be followed by top 8, best 2 out of 3 for in single elimination. And there will be no imposing time limit for the top 8. Okay, so I never actually joined any TCG competition. Like WIXOSS is basically the first TCG that I actually went in seriously, and thankfully I found it early. I mean, I found it pretty late because I found it during the Glowing Diva release. So I know like before that it's already have Interlude Diva. So once set behind, it's actually not that late. Not that late. So thankfully I was in early on WIXOSS, so I was able to follow it. And here I am, I guess. Right, so moving on. Right, so the deck list registration is a must, and you have to submit it before the date of the event, which is the July 22nd, or you will be dropped in round 1. Very strict. I don't know why I read the rules is pretty strict. Although I've seen pretty strict rules for other TCG competitions as well. Right, so players may only play and submit a deck list of a deck they currently have built with official WIXOSS cards. An image of this deck must be sent via Google Doc. I don't know why. I mean, I guess you need to have a very good camera. It says image though. I mean, we already have WIXOSS, you know. Like, it wouldn't be proper if we can just send. I guess you can send the picture, but also the WIXOSS link for your deck. I mean, it's already widely used. Right, so continuing, please note that the deck list submission is through BCP. I mean, the site that they use. Although available, is not accepted as a form of check-in for the event. We will be using a Google form to submit the deck list. This is an official WIXOSS event. The cards in your deck must be in English, no exceptions. Playing with non-English cards may lead to game loss penalties, and we really want to avoid this issue and have a fun and smooth event. Right, so reading this, I actually I realized that I believe in your LGSs, your local game stores, game shops, like actually people actively use like how do I say this, proxy cards. Yes, proxy cards, especially the level zeros, since we have of course the Lucky Yuki exclusive art of the lyrics. So I guess since this is an official, you can't use that. You need to use only the official level zeros, unless you want to be disqualified, that is. Right, so the event cost is $30 USD. Refunds will be available until July 8th, 11:59 p.m. EST only. After the date, there will be no refunds. And participation reward: each player complete 3 rounds will receive participation items that we will see later on. And we will not ship this reward to any players that do not make it to the event. That do not make it to the event and had registered for the event. So even if you registered but you didn't come to the venue, it's basically you miss out on the prizes. And dude, the prizes this time is very nice. Even JP selectors also mentioned it, like they only had like top 8 or top 4 for prizes and participation rewards, of course. And since we will be seeing it, but we have prizes up to top 64, if I remember. So like the JP selectors actually mentioned that they hope the JP organizers actually followed this trend that happened in US, but I'm not sure. But since this is the first GP for English, maybe they went ham. One event timeline: each round will begin we will begin each round of the conclusion of the previous round. Players who do not show up for a round will be dropped with no opportunity for re-entry. Yeesh. Strict. Okay. So it's a Swiss round, of course. Round 1, 2, 3. And whoever wins best of 2 moving forward. And who wins top 2, best 2 over 3 will be top 8. And then we'll be having deck checks. Oh, speaking of deck checks, they didn't actually mention about sleeving or double sleeving, right? I mean, some TCG events actually mention like double sleeving is allowed, or only clear sleeves are allowed. Like, they didn't mention it this time. I don't know, maybe it's a leniency, but we will see during the event whether there are complaints or further notice, I guess. Okay, continuing reading. The pairings will be posted in your player portal. Link will be provided. Players must report the results inside the player portal within 40 minutes of the start time. See, this is why I said, like, I read the rules, like, it's very strict about the time and everything. Any results not reported within this time will result in double game loss and players will be dropped from the event. See, like, they even highlighted it. Right, so the registration platform is with Carta Magica. We'll be using Best Coast Pairings, the BCP mentioned earlier. The BCP app will be used for signing and running for the VegasGP. And players are required to download the app on their Android or iPhone. Players may click the registration link below. Registration will go to the payment page, then you must pay $30. And players will be able to view pairings, report match result, and see the final standings through the BCP player app. Mentioned before, so we'll be moving on. Right, so the long-awaited, very highly and very positively received rank prizes. So, like I said before, the JP actually only have, like, I'm not sure, maybe top 16, maybe top 16 only for the prizes, but we have all the way to top 64. Since there's 128 players, I guess automatically half of everyone will get at least one of these parallels. I say parallels, alternate arts. Yes, alternate arts for these cards. These are the top 64 prize cards. You will get any one of these any one of these six alternate art cards, and surprisingly good cards that they are making, so you can actually use them, because Baphomet is actually very sought out for black decks. And Trouble, of course, Trouble is very widely used, means draw 3, I mean, resource is very good. Zhao Yun actually very good for early game. Bruno, at the other side, can't say much because I don't know the meta as much. I mean, these are actually very good cards to be set as prize cards and alternate arts. And of course, the top 32 will get one of the 3 versions of Servants. Now, the most left is actually one of the prize cards for in-store party for May. So we already have an English version of it. And the other 2 is we don't have the English version yet on the official English homepage. So I took this from the official JP webpage, hence the sample watermark. How should I say? I've heard like JP people said, like, sample is like the worst enemy for artists wanting to make fan arts, because you almost all the cards revealed in the JP website all have the sample watermark, and you can see the English we do not have, so we get the HD version of the picture. So you can it's actually good for playtesting because no sample cards and you can actually just use them. But do be careful, because the watermark is to prevent from using it as official proxies, so that's one thing to be aware of. And next we look on the top 16. Now the Arguin price card is actually from previous WIXOSS parties. I can't remember when, but since Arguin is introduced way early in the game, and Osagitsune and Exia is also the price cards for the in-store WIXOSS ceremony party. WIXOSS party, in-store WIXOSS party, I guess. Right, so, and yes, of course, the top 8 will have the piece cards of the alternate art Ultra Superheroes. Now, Ultra Superheroes are actually just released in Spread Diva, and the original art is basically have X, Eldora, and Juice. But this have Bang, Tamago, Layla, and Nanashi in their, well, I guess superheroes or tokusatsu, I guess. I mean, the scarf just gives it all, right? I mean, the effects are also very good, since Ultra Superheroes are still used in even now in the current JP meta. So looking back, so the top 8 will have the piece cards. The top 4 will have acrylic trophies of the piece cards, and the finalists will have special design of acrylic trophies, and the champion, of course, will mention first place of the piece cards, of course. Oh yes, and this is the most biggest appeal for this Grand Prix, might I say, because even though you are bringing a deck that is not meta or is maybe not even that powerful or well known, but if you register of your favorite lyric as your center, and among all the selectors that use the same center as you, that you have the best results, you will have the prize of winning one of the sleeping promos. But do mind, these are not question mark rares, right? Because this is, as you can see at the bottom text, this is the 2023 Hello Selector campaign promo. So these foils are actually the same one that you get from buying the, I believe it's the welcome set. I can't remember what number it was it, but these are basically the sleeper promos that you get from buying the welcome back selector box, the first printing. That is the first printing for the welcome back selector promo. So just to be clear, these are not question mark foil. These are, I guess they are similar to parallel foils, because the foilings are not that bling, I guess. But of course, in case you missed the first printing for the welcome back diva selector, this is your chance. So you bring your favorite lyrics as your center, you battle, if you don't fight, you battle really well, and you might actually get a sleepy promo. So this is very good, very good. So you don't actually have to win very good. I mean, you don't have to win very good prizes, because a sleepy is a very good prize in of itself. Right, so we'll be moving on to the second big news, I guess, we get this week, which is the reveals for the Conflated Diva. Right, so Conflated Diva will be releasing on July 14th, like I said before. The VegasGP is on 22nd, so you can use Conflated Diva cards in your deck for the GP. Now, the rates are the same, but I worry a bit because we have 6 centers for this set than the usual 4 or 3 before this. So since even now we don't have all the lyric cards if you just buy one box, so I worry because you might not actually get the full grow line for even one. That's what I fear of, for even one of these 6 centers. So I worry a little. Right, and this time, for real, this time is the DXM serial numbered rare will be printed as the first printing promo. Not promo, I mean first printing secret rares, I guess. Now, unlike the previous ones, which are 4, which are 1 member of each Diva team, since DXM only has it's only 1 team, so it will only have the 3 girls. So 3 girls will have 7 versions, so there are only 21 of these cards for the whole world. So if you are a collector, do look out for this. And similar to the Welcome Back Selector promo, we will have the first printing, will have the lyric servant cards. Each box we only have 1 of the 6 center versions. Right, so if these 6 are your favorite main lyrics, do buy them since it's very nice. Plus they are designed not as the Diva outfits, but on their original outfits. So we learned the game from the anime, so the original appearance are actually very good. Right, so first look at the Carnival Center. So her skill is action. Once per turn, you discard 1 and this lyric gains auto. Once per turn, when this lyric attacks, choose one of the following. You draw 1, or you energize 1, or you put target signal on your opponent's field into their trash. And the Carnival's once per game skill is make up to 2 target signal on your opponent's field servant zeros until end of turn. Right, so servant zeros are natural, I guess it's neutral colored signies with only 5k power and no abilities. So it's pretty good for you to actually make a field wipe of it. And since Carnival's once per game skill only makes 2 of it, if you use Carnival Memoria Signi, you can actually make a full board of just servant zeros. Sorry, you can make a full board of servant zeros, which is actually terrifying for your opponent. But I don't know, it's only have one active X skill, I guess. But drawing 1 and charge 1 and trashing 1 each turn is actually very good. But you can only activate it when your centenary attacks. So basically, after your Signy battle phase. I don't know. Maybe it's use more on resource management, I guess. Right, so the UR version of Carnival will have the old original, I guess, clown outfit rather than a jester. I guess jester and clown are the same, but the original UR version for Carnival will have the outfit for the original series. So the next center will be Guzuko. So she has enter skill, look at top 5 and put one card from among them to your trash and put the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. Oh yeah, hi Gabriel. Yes, of course, very pretty, Guzuko. Right, so moving on, the once per turn X skill is you pay two energy with 1 black. You put target Signy from your trash onto your field. So I guess Guzuko mainly focuses on trash manipulation and trash management, I guess, because everything is centered on the trash. So the once per game skill is whenever a Signy enters your field by an effect this turn, target Signy on your opponent's field gets minus 8k power until end of turn. But it's only once per game, but it doesn't say once per turn. So if you play it properly, you can actually put up to 3 Signys from your trash, and it doesn't say that you can only use the minus power on only one of your opponent's Signys. So you can either spread it out, or you can just compile all the minus power and turn a very powerful Signy to 0, thus finishing it. Right, so you think this version is pretty, and this UR version is even more prettier, because in the original series, the original selector for Guzuko is a very rough, I guess, a band boy. So the Guzuko image is already associated with band and music, thus the guitar. So she could be good with cards that do things while you put them to trash from deck directly with the enter. Yes. I believe, what was the name? I can't remember, but it's a white card that you can vanish. No, not vanish. You can remove an opponent's Signy skill when you trash your deck. I believe I forgot the name. It's a white deck. It's a white deck with, I believe it's a demon Signy. I can't remember. Yes, of course, because her enter skill alone is trashing up to 5 cards, and her X skill is you put any card from your trash onto your field. So it's very, very good for trash manipulation. Right, so next is the very questioned center for this set is Layla. Now, why I say question? Because in the original anime, she is not a loli, and for some reason she is in Diva. Now that's weird. Right, so her X skill is you down her and target red Signy on your field gains Act once per Auto once per turn. When the Signy attacks, vanish target Signy on your opponent's field with 8k power or less until end of turn. And her once per game X skill is discard your hand, you retire your hand. And when this Lyric attacks, the next turn your opponent cannot guard during that attack. So her once per game skill is basically similar to her gimmick, I guess, even in the anime, since she beat up her opponents with her fist. So I guess it's good if you have taken out all the life cloth of your opponent and she can deal the finishing blow, and since your opponent can guard, it's a confirmed hit. A confirmed hit and just simple bye-bye, I guess. Although the active X skill is not very good, since you you vanish an opponent's Signy, but you lose a Lyric attack, and since Lyric attack cannot be guarded by Signies, I guess you lose one direct attack. So I don't know, it's a payoff, I guess. Now, for those that do not agree with Layla being loli, you can chase after her UR card, and as she said, this is her true form. Very muscular. Huh. Yep, okay, right, moving on. Yes, next we have Mama. Alright, since we're talking about Mama, I didn't notice before, but when WIXOSS Multiverse promoted the game so much that they add your username in Twitter, that moment, even the voice actor for Mama also oh, I haven't seen this character in a while, and it turns out Mama and Sangha are actually from the same voice actors. I mean, I didn't realize that at first, and it turns out it is true. Mama and Sangha are voiced by the same voice actors. I forgot the name, but it's confirmed it's the same. Right, so her once per turn X skill is put 3 Signies with different levels from your inner zone into your trash, and you vanish level 3 or more Signy on your opponent's field. Right, a thing about this sentence, you say target level 3 or more. Before this, people only suspected why do you put level 3 or more? Signies only have level 3, there are no more level 3s. And now, since we already have the Dishonor arc, and Mayu is revealed to be the first level 4 of the game, so maybe in the near future we might actually have level 4 Signies. But who knows, because Fesone Diva, the next arc after Dishonor, we don't know if we're going to have another level 4 in Fesone. But after that will be a collapse set, so I guess no level 4s there, most probably. But after that, the final set for JP this year will be a new arc called The Door, that I already explained in my previous video. Right, so The Door is basically, I'm pretty sure it's another big arc for the WIXOSS game. So most probably we will have more level 4s in that arc. But in due time, I guess, in due time. Right, okay, so continuing. Her Mama's once per game X skill is during your opponent's next turn. If you would be the first to take damage, instead you do not take that damage. So I guess this is similar to any defensive green build, but only 1 damage, so not that good, I guess. But putting 3 signies of different levels, basically you pay 3 NR to vanish level 3 or more, is actually very nice. But no, I guess it's very nice because green NR charge a lot, and paying 3 might not be that big of a cost. But if you NR charge a lot, you also deplete your deck, so that's one thing to be very, very careful about. And apparently the UR version for Mama is her younger version, I guess, with the usual, I guess not usual, the original outfit in the anime. Right, so moving on. And yes, the second main lyric in the Lost Storage series, Mel. Right, so her first enter skill is add a kechacha or a back fat mashi mashi and a soft boiled egg to your lyric deck. And yes, these are food names. Yep, they are food names, and this is basically, I believe, is the first one that introduces craft signies, which can be attached similar to the soul cards in DXM. DXM, sorry, I'm just gonna drink one. Right, so her her act skill is pay 1. You attach a craft signy, which are one of 3, from your lyric deck to a target signy on your field as an axe. I don't know why they put axe here, because yes, in Japanese is akuse, but it's actually accessory. I don't know why they shortened it into axe. I mean, it's not Axel, and you're not Axel synchroing here. This is not Axel synchro. This is accessory. Okay, so just note there. I don't know why they just shortened it to axe. So her once per game skill is during your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot use spells or act abilities. I guess not using spells is good, and not using act skills are good, but not all signies or all opponents main them. I guess it's good certain matchups, because spells, I believe, are Miru runes. Yes, are Miru runes main forte, and we still don't have Miru rune lyric yet. We only have her Memoria signies. I guess maybe in the future she'll be good against her. Right, so since we do not have the reveals for the kechacha, back fat, and soft boiled egg, I took the liberty of taking these images from the JP official website. So these are kechacha, back fat mashi mashi, and the soft boiled egg. Now, just to a simple translation. Right, so the first part of the accessory cards, they say that you can attach this to a signy on your field and they gain the following ability. Right, so for Kechacha, the most left is a constant skill. Wait, I need to read this. The first skill for Kechacha is a constant skill. When this card is attached as an accessory, the signy gains plus 10k power. Okay, so Kechacha is a plus power for back fat mashi mashi, the center. is if this card is attached as an accessory, the Signy gains Lancer. Oh, okay. So you attach the back fat Mashi, you can give Lancer to a Signy and it does not say a green Signy, so you can attach it to any Signy and it gains Lancer. And last but not least, the most right is Soft Boiled Egg. Her skill is if it is attached as an accessory, if the Signy would be vanished, you exclude this card, which is an accessory, from the Signy, and you exclude this card from the game instead of vanishing the Signy that it is attached to. A defensive, I guess. Very good, very nice. So this will be the introduction for accessory Signies. I believe we will have more of these, like I believe Mew also have accessory Signies, other than I believe Mew is Charm. Yes, Charm. Other than her Charm cards, we also have accessories Signy for Mew. Right, so the UR version for Mel, very colorful, since her theme is nature and all the flowers and the fruits around. And of course we have Nanashi. So Nanashi, we already have her as assist, and she already have a very good assist line, because Nanashi's main forte is attaching viruses, and for each virus in your opponent's field, it gains an effect. Right, so her first skill is constant. During your attack phase, infected Signy on your opponent's field gets minus 3k power. This is a constant. And infected Signies are Signies that have virus attached to them. Now viruses are already introduced when Nanashi is introduced as assist cards. Virus is actually a token, so viruses are tokens that are outside the game, so there have been very creative viruses if you want to search for it. Right, so enter, put a virus in your opponent's Signy zones. So virus do not attach to a Signy, but it attached to a Signy zone. So if you remove, if you defeated a Signy, the virus stays there. And if you put a virus on that Signy zone before your opponent puts the Signy after you put the virus, it is still considered as an infected Signy because they are basically put into the place with virus. Right, so the act once per game. At the end of this turn, turn all Signy on your field face down. At the beginning of your opponent's next attack phase, if a Signy is not in the same position as a Signy turned face down this way, turn that Signy up. Right, so I'm not so sure about this, but I've read a couple of things. This is basically you can basically put another Signy while you have a Signy that is face down. So this is basically you clear your board and you put other things there. However, as written here, if a Signy is not in the same position as a Signy turned face down this way, you turn that Signy face up. So if you put an up face Signy on a Signy zone that already has a face down Signy, you have to remove the face down Signy basically. So if you don't have a Signy on top of it, you can just basically turn face up again, so it's not that very dangerous thing. So no, don't worry so much. And the UR version of Nanashi is, yes, very beautiful. I don't know why, among the Lost Storage series, I prefer Nanashi the most. I don't know why. Probably because I main the black color. I mean, my main for selector is Iona, and for Lost Storage is Nanashi. I don't know why. I don't know. It's maybe I just have a tendency. Right, and in Conflicted Diva, we will have assist lines for Aya and Donna. So, a simple note, you might get the level 0s of Aya and Donna as well. I just knew this before. Looks like the old level 5. Oh, really? For Nanashi? Ah! I mean, technically, the assist lyrics are arts card, right? Arts card from the All Stars. So I guess an homage, right? It's an homage from the All Stars for the Diva format, and it's very good since EN doesn't have All Stars, so this is as close as we get. So very thankful. I mean, nice art, no complaints there. Right, so in Conflicted Diva, we will have the VTuber Fuji Aoi collab. It's level 4. No worries. I mean, level 5s are big things, so I don't think they would make it that easily. Although I believe in Disona, level 5 was more with skulls and all that. Yeah, I mean, her theme is virus, so virus means death, so skulls and all that is in the theme, so yeah. And I don't think they want to make it any more dangerous, so it cannot enter the global market. So I guess it's very nice that they reserve a little bit on that. Right, so in Conflicted Diva, we'll have a Fuji Aoi, which is a VTuber. It will be a small collab since the collab card is only 2. Fuji Aoi herself and Kiku no Jo. And if you look up Fuji Aoi, Kiku no Jo is actually the small sunflower lion looking mascot thing. I guess her assistant, something like that. So since this is a collab, we also have the alternate art of Fuji Aoi, and instead of it being a UR, it's a GR version. I don't know what the difference, but I guess it's technically a UR version collab of a certain something, I guess. Right, okay, I've posted this before on my Twitter, but I will explain it a little bit here. The Conflicted Diva set will have special, I guess they are not promos since they are included in the cards itself. So these are, I guess, parallels, right? Level 0 Mama parallels, which are the mothers of the authors in Omokoro JP Media website. So it's something. You can open the link in the official English website of it. It's in JP, so you need to use the web translation for it. So basically, they are the mothers of the 3 guys in this picture, and they the WIXOSS team actually, I guess, consulted them on like how do you want to make your mother as a girl. I mean, as a pretty girl and as a card. So one of them said something about turtle. One of them said something about, I guess, there was this story like her. I mean, his mother like caught him from urinating as a kid, urinating, sleepwalking above the stairs with a cup. So I guess there is one of them that has a yellow cup illustration in it, and that cup is actually the same cup that the mother used to hold the urine of one of the three boys when they were little and they were sleepwalking. So yeah, that's one of the story. You can read each of the mother's story in the website from the EN official site. Right, so we will also have the Memoria signies for several lyrics. First is Real and Mel. Weird collab. Yes, I know, right? Weird collab. I mean, at the time it was 20. I mean, it was last year for Conflicted Diva. For this collab, I mean, it was so off base because Omokoro is not actually a TCG thing or something. It's just they post like weird stuff, like very fun. I know, I didn't say fun. It's very fun. No, I guess the concept is how to have fun in your daily life. I believe is the theme for the Omokoro website. So it was so off base. So it was weird. Yes, it was weird. But I think it's more to collab with a well-known media figure. I guess it's more. I think it's more to that rather than making it a TCG focus. But thankfully, after this collab, we had the Dene Block collab, which is a YouTuber in JP that focuses on Duel Masters. And the recent one is the Casual website. No, I guess not website. The Casual YouTube channel, which also focuses on Duel Masters. And since Duel Masters is also under Takaratomi, I guess it's basically the same company noticing them and just move on to a different IP. So same. But they are TCG background, so that make more sense than this mother's collab, I guess. Right, so moving on, we have Real and Mel Memoria cards, and of course the SRP versions. Very nice. The next is we have Miko, Lion, and Nanashi Memoria cards. And the most that I want to talk about is the Piruluk Apex, like VTubers and Duel Master players. I understand for collab, but this one is wild like that it happened. Yeah, I know. It was weird, but like I said, it's more to collabing with a very well-known internet figure rather than collabing with a TCG background figure. So I know, I guess marketing. One of the marketing, I guess. Right. So the memory card that I want to talk about is the Piruluk Apex. Very nice. Piruluk Apex is, I believe, is one of the all-star version of lyric for Piruluk. And what I want to talk about is these are, I believe, the first time that we have signies that have dual colors. Yes, we have dual colors signies. Before this, we only have dual color signi for the, I guess it's more to N for the FF, if I can just say it. The dual color is more on the N folder, but this time we have double colored signis which actually have effects, right? And of course, the most I want to talk about, the most thing I want to talk about is the Yuzuki Memoria. Now, this created a buzz when it was first announced for Conflated Diva, because it's a very spicy card. It's a very spicy card, and they do not cover it at all. Like, this version of Yuzuki is also similar to a Pure Look Apex, which is one, I guess, a version of Yuzuki as a lyric in the All Stars, which also have double colors. So it's not, this time is Yuzuki red and green. Now, if you remember Nobunaga, the SR Signi from Glowing Diva, like it got censored, right? Now, so far we don't have any censors other than that card. It's level 5 Yuzuki design. Yeah. I looked it up like last year when this card came out. Like, turns out it's actually a Larig. Right, so it's a prayer, it's a hope that they do not censor this card. I mean, they did a very, I don't know, not so good job with Nobunaga, and thankfully there were no censors after that. So since this is a very, very spicy card, hope that they don't censor it. Yeah, I mean, it's not about getting like very hot illustrations. It's more like it feels weird, you know, because the original one is different and the one version that you get is different. So no, just to be part of something, you know. Not I mean the art is spicy and everything, but you know, just a feeling of not being the same. Right, so that will be, I guess, all the news that we got for this week. Now moving, Nobunaga Sensei level Queen. Oh man, I hope really not. I pray so much. Let there be no Nobunaga censors, and thankfully they like maintain the design, not changing that much. Yes, hopefully so much. I mean, after Nobunaga, we did have some spicy cards. I can't remember which card, but we did have rather spicy cards after Nobunaga, and thankfully they didn't censor it. So since this is, I guess it's a level above spicy, so right, it's worrying. So hopefully they didn't censor it. So yes, I'm very, very hopeful. Right, so I guess that's pretty much what I wanna report on the news that we got. If Carnival is not censored, this shouldn't be. Oh yes, yeah. No, wait. Yeah, you got a point. No, you got a point. Wait. I believe I have this stored somewhere. Somewhere in here. Carnival. Alright. Right, so, oh yeah, now that you mention it, Carnival did not get a censor. Right. So yes, I hope this is not just copium levels, but hopefully, since this is the official this is the official image for Carnival rig. So, oh yeah, now you mention it. Now this is way more spicier than Yuzuki. So yeah. Hopefully, very much. Hopefully, that we will not have another Nobunaga situation. And yes, I guess that's pretty much all. We did get a lot of news this week, so it's a short news. I don't think it's worth making a video out of it, so hence this little session that we are having. Right, so hope this is very informative, and thank you for hanging out. And it's getting late for me. And for any and everyone that registered for the GP, for the Vegas GP, do post stuff of it and do record and share, because unfortunately I'm not going. I don't live in the US and I don't have a viable deck. So I will be there by spirit and supporting everyone. It's the first English official event and it's a very big one. So hopefully no bad things happen there, and it's very good because Carta Magica had some reputations that I'm not aware of, but everyone who are involved with Carta Magica do have some qualms and regrets. So hopefully it will be better since this is in person rather than online. And I believe that is all. And so previous live stream, I was so nervous I forgot I actually have an ending scene. I mean, yes, an ending screen. So before I finish this little session, thank you all who here, and thank you all who are listening to the VOD in the future. Hope you find this informative, since I mainly cover news and such, since I don't really have played the game as much, since I don't live in a country where it is actively played. So thank you all. Do leave the comments if you have thoughts of it, of anything that I have presented. So until next time, until then, see you next time. And here's the ending screen.